Welcome to another live episode with Live with KB Podcast. I'm your host, Kendall Butler. Today, we got another special guest, my boy Jay Woods. We're going to touch on the topic of men's mental health. I'm sure a lot of people have been hearing about it. It's one of those topics that's probably been making its rounds the past couple of years, but today we're going to have a nice conversation, a nice dialogue between two guys that know each other. So, welcome to another live episode with KB. All right, my next guest is Jay Woods, a native of the great state of Georgia, graduate of Vanderbilt University and a former Vanderbilt University football player, and also a recipient of the Nashville Black Man 40 Under 40, and also the NWRN Inaugural Health Impact Award recipient. Got a lot of awards attached to his name and plenty more to come. So welcome my next guest, Jay Woods. So Jay, I know you. I'm sure a lot of other people know you that watch this, but for the ones that may not really know you well, give a little background history on yourself, if you don't mind.
Got you. So born and raised in Jackson, Georgia. It's like a city like 45 minutes south of Atlanta. Very small, rural type of, everybody know everybody. Mm-hmm. That's my cousin. She's my cousin type of town. I came to Vanderbilt due to the fact I got recruited. So I came out of high school, played defensive tackle, and I was like the 15th D tackle in the nation. And I came down between Georgia, Vanderbilt, Clemson, and Kentucky. And people be like, man, how in the world how do you get to Vanderbilt out of them selections? I finished my high school career with 36 offers, offers itself. And it came down between those 3 or 4. And how I got to Vanderbilt was due to the fact that, man, I fell in love with the culture. I fell in love with James Franklin. James Franklin recruited me. At that time with Sean Spencer, he was my defensive line coach as well. And they just showed me love. Like, it was like one of those genuine, man, I got your back type of thing. Mm-hmm. So came up, I'm from a small city, so I came to Nashville. I don't been to Athens, I don't been to Clemson, I don't been to Lexington. But coming to Nashville, I was like, oh, this is totally different than, down in small town Jackson, Georgia. So I fell in love with the city as well. I say that to say. So that's how I came up here. I signed on signing day. But then also too, I knew this gonna help me when it comes to the long run game. When it comes to my education was a big main factor. So after that, I had some good seasons at Vanderbilt University. I don't got an agent. And it was something came over me. I did pro day and everything. It came over me. It was just like, man, God was speaking to me. God was speaking to me more so like, man, it's so much more to you, dog. And I hung up my cleats. That's when I started reaching out, trying to figure out what's next. Outside of that, I went to some mentors of mine, Alan Young, he's the brother of Omega Psi Phi, Daniel Jackson, and they told me about Meharry. And once I got into Meharry, that's a whole nother story itself. My process in that, got my Master's of Public Health with a concentration in Healthcare Administration. And then everything else is smooth sailing. I started reaching out. I got my first leadership job at HCA Centennial Medical Center, and then now I'm working for the state. But that's just that's a little bit about
quick
me.
Little summary of your life.
Yep.
That's good, man. So I brought you here today. Like I said, this topic was very important, I think, to both of us, and I think other people in our age group, also younger and older. Yep. Men's mental health and the topics that surround it. I don't think it's just one thing. It's not just one bold term. So it's a lot of things that surround that as well. So I also, I really wanted to bring you on here to get your opinion and also have a dialogue with you. So to start off with, what do you think men struggle with in that realm of mental health, in your opinion?
I think men struggle with not knowing how to be human. And I say that not knowing how to be human due to the fact of, I feel like we have been programmed so much to be, the protector, be the provider, being strong at all times, and not knowing that we are so much more than that. When God created us, He meant for us to be human beings. So that's one thing, I think that's one thing they struggle with, is just trying to have an outlet or a safe space to tell people like, man, I'm much more than that as well. So that's why I say.
Yeah. And do you think that obviously that plays a part in how we deal with things, right? Because it's kind of like you kind of unknowingly, especially how you grew up, you may just are used to just shooing bad stuff away in your mind, just put it in the back of your mind and move forward, which can be a positive thing because you know you don't want to harp on or keep reliving bad moments in your life. But you know, I think sometimes when you're just used to pressing forward, forgetting about stuff and not dealing with it, those things can come back to haunt you.
Absolutely.
So that's a very good point that you make like that. Also, what do you think is holding us back as far as men and mental health?
I think we do not have enough safe spaces for us. We don't have enough safe space to just tell each other or hold like a conversation like we having right now. It's just like, man, I am struggling. I am dealing with, you know, depression. I am dealing with some stuff that I dealt with as a child. I am hurt. I am sad. I use the analogy sometimes when it comes to this. It's just like the crayon box. And I got this from reading a book called The Man, the Moment, the Man by Jason Wilson. And with this crayon analogy itself, it talks about this. Us men, picture us as like an 8 crayon box. You know, you got the basic colors, you know, red, black, yellow, you know, you name it. We only use like 4 of them. Those crayons are representative of our emotions. But vice versa, women over here got a 64 pack. You know the 64 pack, when you back in the school, they used to have a little sharpener in the back. And they think about it as emotions. They use all these emotions. But we struggle with, number one, we don't have a space, but also we don't even know how to even tap into that because we have been programmed so much on, man, you gotta be angry, you gotta be stoic, you can't show emotion because we think emotion is a weakness. So that's one thing I would say as well, is just like, man, we need more safe spaces, but we need to also have more men to talk about, like, be very vulnerable, be very transparent, because to me, I feel like that's what masculine is all about. That showed us true strength of, man, hey, I'm dealing with X, Y, and Z as well, you know? So that's what I would say.
Yeah, and I think to your point, you know, as far as a safe space, there's not really a lot of outlets. You know, if you are going through something, the first thing going through your mind is, who can I even talk to? Some people are scared to talk to their homies or friends because, like, okay, the judging part may come into play. Talk to your parents. They're going to kind of be like, well, baby, get up. So it's kind of like, depending on what your circle is like, when you're going through stuff in your mind, you really are confused on who to go to. A lot of people don't have that first response, right? So they're going through something, they don't really know, first person off the top of their head, who they can really run to without getting judged or just kind of told, oh, it'll be okay, just get over it.
And I would say too, man, that's why we lead to so much like negative outlets as well, man. That's why we lead to, the only thing we can show is anger. When we hurt, anger. When we sad, anger. But if we start teaching these boys, or teaching men, not even boys, us men, man, how to articulate, and also bringing in to a circle as well, like, man, listen, I struggle with this as well. Let me show you how I went through that, and let me show you some healthy steps to get through that type of struggle as well. We need more men to know how to articulate how they truly feel.
So to your point, again, it's kind of like also anger, right? Because then anger draws attention.
Absolutely.
So it usually takes a man to get angry about something for somebody to come like, hey man, what you mad about? And then that problem will come out.
Now we react.
Right, but then you don't also, every anger is just not simple. It may take something big. You may have a charge behind it. And you ain't got time to be trying to learn in jail, oh, I got angry because of something that could have been fixed on the outside. And also, like, a lot of guys, even if they're giving advice, are they giving the wrong or right advice? So there's not a lot of training going into men giving other men advice. Okay, that's dope, man. What exists in society today that might influence how men carry themselves, both publicly and as a part of a family?
I think what exists in society, I would say, man, one of the biggest factors right now is social media. Media itself, man, it shows all these different type of men when it comes to just every man got to be strong. I think that's the problem that we see so much. We like, men have to do something to feel valued. You gotta. Well, the first question they usually ask you, man, what you do for work? So then it's like a measuring stick. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like showing too much of men. You got to be strong, bravo. Man, I can still show you, like, man, I was sad today. You know, and still they don't take away from who I am as a man or a human being. I think we are putting so much emphasis on our social media. A lot of people have Instagrams, a lot of people have Twitter. You go to the whole nine, and they only show men in a strong, bravo, masculine type of way, but they never show a vulnerable, transparent man. They never show the positive side of, hey, this brother over here is doing very well, telling people about his story and still thriving. So I would say that's one of the things I would say is there's just that media piece. The media piece playing a big impact on that.
Yeah, and it can be positive or negative. And usually if people are consumed by the same image or content every day, that just, people say it don't mess with their mind, but it do.
They do.
I mean, anything you consume more than a lot
There we go.
is going to mess with your mind.
There we go.
Yeah. So going into relationships, man, me and you are both in age, especially you're married.
Yeah. About to be a year.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. That'll be coming up very soon. Not to get into the depths of it, but has anything influenced you to be more open with your spouse?
Yeah.
You would say?
I would say what have influenced me. I think number one, reading. I do a lot of reading itself. 3 books that always come to mind when it comes to like help me just start opening more and being more vulnerable in my relationship. The autobiography of Malcolm X. I always tell people that he showed all walks of life. When it comes to the good, bad, and the ugly. The Way of the Superior Man. That's another book that talks about just being a true, just like human at the end of the day. And then the one I just mentioned to you, the Man, the Moment of the Man. And also with those, it broadened my horizon and my knowledge when it comes to like, man, Jay, bro, how are you feeling? You're not just, masculine, strong, things of that nature. But I think I took that into my relationship because from the get-go, when me and my wife started to talk, when we was like in a dating stage itself, now I remember like our first time hanging out, we was like in a deep conversation, but it was just showing me then, number one, it showed me that, okay, I really like this person. Right. But also it showed me that she provided a safe space for me to just be vulnerable. And then throw this back at me when a moment of weakness. So that's why I would say we started from the get-go. We started from the get-go, from the day one, it was just very transparent, very vulnerable. Here, this is who I am. But this came from after the fact of reading all these books, So
it would kind of be, you would say, kind of working on yourself, identifying and being more open with yourself. So then if you do meet somebody that you're dating or you really like, you don't feel confined in the space. You don't feel like you can't talk to them. So I always say communication is everything. Yes. I feel like in all phases of life, it was relationships, family, work, like the ability to communicate and express your feelings is very important.
Most definitely. I would say, especially when it comes from the relationships tip, one thing I'm learning, even in the season, is just like when we don't communicate, that's when the devil narrates. That's when the stress, the doubts, all these different ideas and, narratives in your head that's don't have anything to do with your relationship. You know what I'm saying?
You holding stuff in?
You're holding stuff in. So that's why I say it's very good to communicate, effectively communicate, and then also to listen to, understand, and instead of listen to, respond as well.
Okay.
So
how can we as men address the pressures of racism, stereotypes, and the threats of lessening black masculinity in America?
It goes back to what I just talked about. Yes, I know it's there, especially when it comes to like racism and things of that nature. But one thing I would say to anybody is this: God, and I'm gonna go biblical because I'm a man of God over here. Man, nobody knows you like you do. So don't get caught up in all of what society will try their best, because they will come with different areas. And how I remain grounded in this type of area is just like, I know who's in control. I know who created me. I know who he created me to be. I know the calling he have over my life. And that's one thing I would say, just from a biblical standpoint, is just like, don't let that stuff phase you. Because I know how the enemy works as well. He was doing racism. What's the other one you were saying?
Stereotypes and the threats of, lesson, because some people think it's like it's an agenda.
Yeah, but let's keep it. All that is socially constructed. Why? Because they're trying to create that division and continue to have some type of rift. And one thing I always say, the enemy thrives off of this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But once you get comfortable with your walk with God, nothing else can stop you, dog.
I would say, a question I've been wanting to touch on was really big. Why do you think some men turn to anger? It's kind of like what we talked about first, right?
Yeah.
Anger bringing out being the first response to something.
Yeah.
Why do you think that?
Because I feel that goes back. I feel like we have populated anger with just masculinity itself, and saying that like that's a safe space for us. Well, like I said, when we was younger, we wasn't allowed to show quote unquote weakness. We wasn't allowed to cry. You always say, no pain, no gain, or, stop crying like a girl. So anger has been so populated in us, and like we've been like instilled like that's the only emotion that we can show, and that's the only emotion majority of the time we resort to. But that's why I always want to force more men when I see this type of stuff. They always say, "No, I'm good," and you should tell from your body language you're not good. I'm always going to be the person like, dog, have you took some time to reflect though? Because this anger didn't just come out of nowhere. I always say, man, you are your experience or your past itself. So have you dove deep? Have you dove deep into why you feel this way in a certain situation? Do you have some triggers? But to answer your question, I said it's just a safe space. That's all we know.
Yeah, and then most kids, I'm just talking about just remember from my childhood at summer camps and stuff. You would see the kids that were more angry and would spaz out. They would get all the attention.
Yeah.
You might have 5, 6 summer camp employees, the one that just spazzes out. Everybody surround you, okay, and then baby him. I've seen it.
But
as a kid, like.
But my question to you: why do you think that kid acting out?
Man, it could be. I'm pretty sure some stuff at home for sure. But you've seen it to where like it really gathers everybody's attention.
Yeah.
And everybody don't. And I've never seen it to where the response was, "Hey, what's going on at home?" or whatever. It's just, I've seen like, he'll get snacks.
Come on, KB.
So then you looking like, hey, you got a ring pop.
Yeah.
For throwing a chair across the gym.
Come on. And that's the only way they know how. But then I can't fault these teachers or whoever the counselor is, because that's the only way they know how to comfort somebody who's angry.
It's kind of like the people that are trying to help are not even educated.
There we go.
So now you just have a dysfunctional situation, because now you're teaching them bad behavior gets rewarded.
And that's not the case, because as that child continue to grow older, guess what?
Society gonna do to you?
You're gonna go to consequences. Come on.
And then you don't learn, and then next thing you know, you got a charge, you got a record, and then it hits them, and then you already in the system.
Yep. And now and then nobody still haven't talked to that child. Like, man, we could have stopped this early on. We could have asked this child, and these are the stuff that I just want more people to know, man. Stop giving. If somebody say I'm okay or I'm angry about this and that, man, dive a little bit deeper. Ask these questions, like, man, and especially when it comes to, I'm very big, and you probably see the passion right now when it comes to just mentoring young, especially black kids.
Yeah.
Man, meet these kids where they at. When you meet them where they at and respect their world, don't try to just mentor these kids just like you need to tell them the great thing, the good thing to say. No, be present with them. Ask them, man, why are you feeling this way? Where is this anger coming from? What are you dealing with?
Right.
And number one, let them say, hey, wherever you're dealing with, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to be. It's okay to be you dealing with all this and you don't know how to. That's okay. But let me teach you how to articulate your emotion. Let me teach you how to go about your day.
When we started this conversation, we were talking about how, first thing they're talking about is, man, you said the first question somebody asked, where you work at? What do you do?
Yeah.
And then you're seeing an uptick in a lot of guys passing away at a very early age.
Yeah.
How much importance would you say we need to put on, us as men need to put on health as the same, the same energy we put towards our wealth and what we got and what we do for a living, we need to put that exact energy toward our health?
Now, you know how I feel about health.
Yeah.
The camera right here. I would tell every man this. Number one, you want to live for everybody connected in some way, somehow. You want to live for your mother, your father, your wife, your son, your daughter, all your cousins. Go get checked. Let's be preventive before being reactive. Ask the question. If you don't know the question to ask, go get somebody that can ask the question for you, man, because that's one thing I'm big on as well. It's just like, man, we got to start being more proactive with our health. But then also too, man, that goes back to my I get very it hit me sometimes. We are so prone and we are so programmed in the sense of just what can we do? And we always feel like we always gotta go do. I gotta grind. I gotta do all these things. And like everybody has looked at men as a performance-based type of thing. What are you working? Like some men don't even want to rest some days because they like, oh, I gotta go do something because if my wife walk in and she see me resting, she gonna look at me less than a man. No, rest is essential.
Right.
I tell me and my wife knows, like, listen, after I get done doing what I need to do, I'm going to rest. You know, but this goes back to saying it's affecting your health. It's affecting how your relationships. It's affecting how you go about doing things. You're not what you do. I always tell people, you're a human being, not a human doing. At the end of the day, man, you're human. Like you shouldn't be trying to like I gotta measure myself off of what I can do out here. So man, take your health very seriously. Go to get your physical yourself, wherever you need to fix, and go early. Don't go reactive after like something comes up like I can't work no more. So that's one thing. Oh, and also, man, go to the gym. This is my gym partner. So
Yeah, most definitely.
Go to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, a lot of people kind of wait until something bad flares up and you have to get shipped to the hospital.
Now you trying to like figure everything out. Now it can be like stage 3, stage 4 type of stuff now.
I mean, you can just do a yearly, you don't have to be, obviously your yearly physical is very important, but anytime you do feel uncomfortable and whatever your home remedies and stuff is not working, man, it's okay to go to the doctor.
Absolutely.
And not wait till the last minute, man.
Absolutely.
And, I know we talked about this topic not too long ago. We're talking about the difference in, you talking about us being humans, birthdays, the difference between, not even specifically birthdays, but just men being comfortable with just celebrating their life.
And we just talked about this morning. So it hit me when I got to my work this morning. So long story short, me and KB had a whole conversation about this earlier this morning when we was working out. But I say that to say, man, it hit me. We are so programmed to be doing things, and we are so programmed to get rewarded off of what we do. So when we come to these things of just celebrating just our being, we don't even know how to even just accept that, And that's the problem, I would say. And I would challenge everybody, like, man, you need to stop these men. Like, no, it's not. I value you for you, not what you do out here. Yeah. Because it comes to this point, like, we get that same question every year. Man, what you want? Man, I'm good. No, listen.
Sound like somebody's granddad.
Yeah, and that I'm good come from, we just don't know how to celebrate ourselves, Yeah. And that's more so in the sense of, like, if we're not doing anything, why should we be celebrated? Yeah. Even on our birthdays. Yeah. This is a day God bless you to come into this world, and we still don't know how to celebrate ourselves. And I still struggle with it myself. My wife, my birthday in 2 weeks, my wife still asked me, what do you want? I said, honey, give me some time to think about it. Not because I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Right. But still, like, I still struggle with that. So I just want us to be more, just us as men to be like, hey, it's okay to be celebrated.
Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. You can let that little
let it sit,
it's okay, even if it's uncomfortable. I'm like that too, and I think I was talking to my pops this morning. I was like, and I think it's how you grew up too. If there was not a lot of celebration, I'm of course 5, 6, 7 years old, but especially when you get into 10, 11, those age groups where you can remember how your birthday was, what you really got, not what you was just getting little baby shoes and stuff like that. That stuff starts to fade away from men. And then, I'm thinking about, I was like, man, you think about granddaddy, he would just be thankful you called him, give him some socks, a couple white beaters, and he was good.
But you see, what you saying that, you see how this stuff got passed down. Yeah. When are we going to stop it? Yeah. That's the question that I want more people to ask. Now, when are we going to stop that? Because, man, we deserve to get celebrated. And we, as men, accept it when they do it.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah. And then you gotta give people flowers while they're here, man.
Absolutely.
I told my dad, it's kind of messed up. Most men probably get the best celebration at their funeral.
And that's the part that I hate.
Yeah.
I hate.
That's when everybody come out and, he was such a good person, good man. He took care of everything. But he dead, he can't even see it.
Can't see nothing.
You know what I'm saying? Going off of that, man, how does faith in God play a role in a man's life in a relationship?
Should I speak from my personal standpoint or just in my personal standpoint is this. That's my. If anybody ever asks you anything like how Jay will go about doing things, that's my guiding light, I guess you would say.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I do, when it comes to how I move, when it comes to how I speak, I start growing in my faith, KB, and that's one thing I'm learning right now in this season. Just like, number one, he already got all this planned out. I gotta get in tune with him. Like with any other relationship, I gotta get closer with him. Once I start getting closer with him, he led me in everything I do. When I feel the spirit in me, when I have that conviction, I do what he tell me to do. When I call you on a random day like, hey KB, I'm just checking in with you straight. There was nothing about me. There was God telling me to do this. Even when it comes to a relationship, man, people don't understand. Even in the Word, it give you the blueprint. It give you everything you need to know. How to lead in the family, how to choose your mate, how to stay away from them. I told somebody the other day, if somebody would have told younger Jay Woods in his young 20s in college, look at Proverbs 5. Yeah. Proverbs 5 talk about just staying away from adulterous women. It would save a whole lot of trouble and a whole lot of relationships.
Right.
Be very candid with you. Yeah.
So you're looking at learning experiences, but it's trying to keep you away from all that nonsense.
So to answer your question, man, he's my guide in life. Man, Jay, man, you need to change some of the ways you're doing things. You know what I'm saying? You need to be emotionally involved when it comes to not just relationships, any relationship, friendships, your mom, your sister. You need to change your mentality as that childlike mentality. You know, we went to college, so we gonna party, we did everything. I have to change because I saw the vision that I want to be when it comes to a man. I didn't know how to get there, but God started laying these different stuff in front of me, from books, from mentors. So that's when it started. I can say once that change started happening after undergrad, I started asking myself more reflective questions. Jay, is there still something you're dealing with when it comes to childhood stuff that you need to talk about? Emotionally, how are you feeling, dog? You know what I'm saying? You just went through a bad breakup. How are you feeling? You know what I'm saying? These are the questions I didn't ask nobody else. I asked myself. I would say this though, 2019 for me was a pivotal year for me. I was getting my master's at that time. Okay. And I remember, like I always tell people this story. It was one of them nights I think it was March or May, one or the other, in the library by myself in a whole little cubicle. I stopped doing work, and I literally just started asking myself some questions like, what makes me me? Once I started asking that stuff, I started writing it down. I was like, man, what makes me me? Like, I don't need what everybody else tell me who Jay Wood is. Yeah. What makes me me?
The answer for yourself.
Yeah. What do I want when it comes to a wife? Wrote it down. What do I want to see myself in a few years? How am I going to get there? And I'm not just talking about from everybody loves this talking about career standpoint. No, where I want to see myself as a man, just in general. 2019 was a pivotal year for me because that's when I said, okay, I wrote this stuff down. I know who I am. God laid everything out for me when it comes to books and stuff like that and mentors. Now we got to put action to words. So that's when I started applying this stuff. That means I can't go out here and just start, willy-nilly partying. I can't just go out and hang. I got to be very intentional. I think that's one thing I want more men to be, and this is in general humans. Man, be intentional with this life that we have. If we only got one life. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Why we playing with it, KB?
Yeah. Why are you putting yourself in harm's way?
Right. You know from right from wrong. I say people all the time, when you feel that like, I shouldn't be doing that, why are you doing it? Yeah. When you go to stop? This is a gift. Life is a gift, dog. We gotta take it serious. Yeah. Because as you just say, people be checking out day in and day out. We don't know when that ticket gonna get punched.
Yeah, and then everybody wants to get rewarded, but like you said, if you live in a certain way, why would you get rewarded for bad behavior? So I've started, I'm sure you're the same way. You're starting to see your life change when you start making better decisions.
Absolutely.
Right, making better decisions, putting yourself around better people, or taking advantages of stuff that was already around you.
Come on.
Right, but your eye wasn't even open of.
You getting it.
Oh, let me talk to this person. Let me take advice from this person. Let me reach out to this person. But it really, when you do a lot of work for yourself, I can't guarantee you your life is going to change, but it puts you in a better.
There we go.
Better chance.
Yeah.
It put it in a better chance, man. So that's dope, man. Well, You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it, man. If there's anything you want to say regarding what we talked about today, if you feel like I left anything out, we was kind of just conversating and have a dialogue. The people might just want to hear it as the last testimony.
It's a lot, me. I'm always gonna. Yeah, that's
Hey,
once you get me going, I'm going.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
I'm gonna start with my youth. I'm gonna start with my youth, and I'm gonna start with my parents and mentors and whoever it is. Especially for black men, and black children, and black boys out here. If you got somebody who's your child, who's a mentee yourself, man, like I just told you earlier, meet them where they are. Don't come into these conversations like, I say this because it's gonna go my way or the highway type of thing. Because you're building more of a division.
With a gap.
Yep. So I say this, man, respect the world they in, get to know the world they in, and start asking questions. I'm learning right now in this season. I got my nephew. My daughter's very young herself, but I got my nephew. He's 13, man. I'm asking the questions. Man, how are you doing mentally? What's going on in your world right now? And something I would tell any parent and any mentor itself, man, sometimes you don't have to give them the perfect example or answer. I would tell them, man, just be present.
Yeah.
Be present. Sometimes you be present, you get more than you need to know. Then they open up a little bit more. And that means just going laying on their floor and just like, hey, I don't want to invade your space. I just want to sit over here and read this book, and then stuff start happening. Especially I'm very big on black men and black men mental health. I would tell our counterparts itself, man, women out here, provide that safe space for them. Provide that safe space. Then when they do open up, when they do get vulnerable and transparent, man, do not throw this stuff back at them when y'all have, I would say, a tense moments of fellowship. Yeah. Because then guess what it's gonna do? That man gonna say, see what happened when I open up? I'm gonna shut it back down. So allow that safe space and be. Listen, if you can't handle it, make sure you just let them know you cannot handle that at the moment. Well. And then I would say this though, to anybody, from women to men, we all are. Nobody's perfect. We all are broken boys and broken girls.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I say this to say not in a more of like a negative way, but when you're dealing with your mate, your spouse, look at that person as that little girl or that little boy itself, and ask them, man, ask them these questions of diving deep, man. How was your upbringing? What did you go through? Because you can tell so much about their experience and their past and why they walk the way they walk, why they talk the way they talk. I think the final note I would say is this, KB. Remember to love. Love is, to me, is like the most powerful thing you can do. And I ain't talking about conditional love. Every person that you meet, man, remember, man, that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's son. Treat them with respect at the end of the day, man. Because that's what I think, be honest with you, if I give you like a magic wand and stuff, dog, I think that's the thing we missing in today's society. We all thrive off of negativity. We all thrive off of the hate and everything. That's all people know. That's all people want to see. But if we just take some time out and just show people compassion and love itself, I feel like this world, that's the solution to everything we need to do. Yeah. And then also, remember, see what I'm saying?
It says
also for my boys who are here for the year to get married, or my girls who finna get married out here too. One question I always say before y'all get married, man, y'all, number one, go to premarital counseling. Number two, ask this question, man, how do you suffer? The reason I say how do you suffer?
You got me with that one.
The reason I ask this question, and I ask my wife now, how do you suffer? Because at the end of the day, the enemy do not like union. And somewhere down the line, something gonna pop up. Even in the love, career-wise, something gonna negative pop up. You gotta know how that person responds to suffering or adversity. So yeah, that's all I got, man. See what I'm saying? You got me going and everything, man.
Now you going to marriage counseling, man.
Oh,
but
man.
I do like the point you pointed out about learning people's childhood, man.
Yes.
Because, you know, if you do see yourself dating somebody and being in that person's life, man, you got to know them for who they are.
Yeah. And you got to know their parents.
You got to know their parents. You got to know their family. You got to know how, and this, you know, I feel like, you know, once you get past the whole, you know, initial conversations or what do you do for a living or what do you know, what's your love language or what do you want to do to have fun?
They need to start asking that question. I just feel like that's more of a second, third date type of question, but that's just my mentality.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, you need to, as you get to know people, you really need to get to know them.
Yeah.
So therefore, when they do act a certain way, you have some idea where it's coming from.
Absolutely.
And if you find yourself trying to help them or give them advice, they know they've explained it to you. So whatever advice you try to give to them, they know it's not coming from a bad place.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm just taking what you told me. I think you need to do X, Y, and Z next time because you sound hurt. Right?
Come on.
You know.
Come on.
Well, I appreciate it, Jay, man, as always.
Dog,
bro.
you know.
Yes.
Hey, hold up. I want to say one more thing, dog. I'm gonna always get, like you just said, give people their flowers. This dog is dog. I know there's a calling over your life, and I know this is gonna continue to evolve into something bigger and better. Mm-hmm. I cannot wait to be rooting for you, dog. When this is gonna be on one of them shows on ABC type of thing, man. Yeah. But I really want you to understand that he truly have a calling over your life, dog, and just continue going on this avenue with him. Mm-hmm. But man, I can see stars by your name.
I appreciate it, bro. As always, man. Always. Guys, I want y'all to thank you guys for stopping in for Live with KB podcast, man. Today, like I said, we did a special episode, man, talking about something that everybody's affected by in some form, way, or fashion. So I appreciate you guys listening. Hope you guys like and subscribe when this comes out. Thanks for watching Live with KB podcast.